This drama revolves around a close-knit circle of 5 friends, Prey, Min, Wanwan, Mei, and Saras, who formed a group known as the Blossom Squad during their school years. On the surface, they appear to be inseparable, sharing joy, laughter, and aspirations. But as time passes, beneath their cheerful exterior, a dark truth unfolds. Their friendship is tainted with jealousy, selfishness, and vengeance, which would ultimately threaten to destroy the close bond they've nurtured over the years. Nichapat. Chatchapalrat. As. Puntiwa Tantiwicha. Pair. Despite her privileged upbringing, which distinguishes her from other members of the Blossom Squad, she leads an unsatisfied life, weighed down by constant pressure to live up to her mother's expectations, which have persisted since her school days. Her relatively affluent background, combined with her assertive and bold personality, sets her apart within the group and makes her the group's de facto leader. In order to fulfill her mother's wishes, she reluctantly consents to marry a man chosen by her mother despite the absence of mutual affections between her and the man. On her wedding day, an unfavorable video clip of her is exposed to the guests, resulting in the cancellation of the event. Unable to endure the pressure and blame from her mother, for supposedly ruining her own marriage, as well as believing that she has been betrayed by her closest friend, Min, she commits suicide in front of her close friends who fail to dissuade and stop her from doing so. Prior to this, little did she expect that her group's encounter with a fellow student, Palana, a girl with unfavorable character and her own subsequent decisions would have a profound impact on and continue to haunt each of the members of Blossom Squad later on in their lives. Ploishumpu. Supasap. As. Mina Jacina. Min. She possesses a calm demeanor and is regarded as the good girl by the members of the group. Within the group, she is closest to Pear, whose brother, Pitch, is her ex-boyfriend. On Pear's wedding day, she is framed by an unknown person for exposing an embarrassing video clip of Pear, which eventually led to Pear's tragic suicide. Since then, her relationship with other members of the group has turned sour because they are unable to accept her betrayal of Pear. She is dating her university mate, Shannon, however. Her hesitance to take their relationship to a more intimate level makes Shannon question her love for him, ultimately leading him to cheat on her. Following the death of Pear, she faces the hostility of Pear's mother, who holds her responsible for Pear's suicide. Nevertheless, Pear's brother Pitch, who is also her ex-boyfriend, not only refrains from blaming her but also offers his unwavering support. Seeking solace in Pitch after her breakup with Shannon due to his infidelity, she and Pitch gradually rekindle their previous romance, even though they face strong opposition from Pitch's mother. Determined to clear her name from the accusations of betraying Pear, she initiates an investigation to uncover the identity of the person responsible for sabotaging Pear's marriage and framing her for it. As she delves deeper into her investigation, she uncovers a web of secrets involving Pear and other members of Blossom Squad, hinting that they may not be who she initially thought they were. Instead, they appear to be a group of self-interested individuals who are willing to sacrifice others for their own gain and harbor insincere feelings towards each other. Shahayanit. Shansangavich. As. Tidawal. Intharafram. Wanwan. She's the CEO of her family business and has always been the most mature one in Blossom Squad. She has a brother, Tanawin, who is in a vegetative state and a strained relationship with her stepmother, primarily stemming from family inheritance issues. The rift between her and her stepmother deepens as she uncovers her stepmother's lack of genuine concern for Tanawin's well-being, contrary to what she had claimed. Although she maintains her friendship with Min, a lingering sense of distrust remains, as she is uncertain about Min's innocence regarding the accusation of betraying Pear. Her friendship with Min deteriorates further upon Min's discovery that she has been having an affair with her boyfriend, Shannon, a guy she has been admiring since her student days. Haunted by her past, which involves her brother, the need to confront her mother's issues, as well as problems within her company, she ultimately betrays her good friend Mei, resulting in a rift in their friendship. Additionally, her relationship with Shannon is put to the test as she grapples with the pressure of supporting him after he severs ties with his wealthy family. Overwhelmed by guilt for indirectly causing her brother, Tanawin, to end up in a vegetative state, she endeavors to assume full responsibility from her stepmother for his care. Her deep-seated desire for vengeance against those responsible for ruining her brother's life leads to her betraying her good friends to achieve her aims. Yanweri Anibol. As Matacha Kantisena. May. While she presents herself as a sassy and independent woman, she longs for love and easily becomes entangled in affair with the men she meets. Her life undergoes a dramatic transformation when she succumbs to the charm of a handsome conman who exploits her intimate photos to coerce her into betraying her close friend, Wanwan. Her ordeal worsens when she is raped by him, but she is unable to implicate him due to his extensive connections and the existence of past photos in his possession, which portrayed her as a willing participant in their intimate relationship. Even though she was coerced into betraying Wanwan by the conman, Korawi, she decides to resist his threats and continues to uphold her steadfast friendship with Wanwan. Additionally, much like Wanwan, she too had a falling out with her former close friend, Min, due to her belief that Min is an untrustworthy person. While grappling with the challenge of implicating Korawi for rape, she reaches out to Wanwan for help but is deeply disheartened to find out that Wanwan has betrayed her by extending assistance to Korawi instead. Just when her relationship with Min begins to improve, her friendship with Wanwan deteriorates further after Wanwan accuses her of betrayal. Sarunchana. Apisa Maymunkold. As Saritsawadi. Wichawimo. Saras. A flight attendant. She stands out in her group as the more timid and weaker but diplomatic member. While her peers, May and Wanwan have chosen to keep their distance from Min, she firmly holds the belief that Min was unjustly accused of betrayal and continues to maintain a close friendship with her. Her involvement in an affair with a married pilot, Captain Key, takes a dramatic twist when their relationship comes to the knowledge of his wife. She lives in constant fear of being arrested by the police and overwhelmed with remorse after unintentionally causing the death of her boyfriend's wife during a struggle. After a chance meeting with Police Lieutenant Term, who is handling the case and happens to be the cousin brother of the deceased, she makes an effort to befriend him by lying about her true identity. Her aim is to stay informed about his ongoing progress of the investigation and to obstruct his efforts to gather evidence that could potentially implicate her. However, what started as a casual friendship with hidden intentions quickly transforms into a genuine love for Lieutenant Term. Despite her initial efforts to end the affair on May's advice, she finds herself unable to do so and continues to date him, while struggling to keep her secrets from him. Juthapik. Indrajundra. As Palana. A wannabe member of Blossom Squad. She longs to be a part of Blossom Squad but is struggling to gain the group's acceptance because of her unfavorable character. She is a small-time drug dealer who introduces drugs and wild parties to Blossom Squad members, especially Pear, while secretly recording them, with the purpose of coercing her way into the group. Her behavior has not only had a significant impact on the other girls but also on those who are close to them. The members of the Blossom Squad eventually come to realize that, while they blame her for all the problems she has created, each and every one of them also contributes to the issues themselves. Thanet. Lakunsambat. As Pitch. Brother of Pear. He is Min's former boyfriend, still deeply in love with her, and harboring no animosity towards her even though initial evidence pointed to her as the one who betrayed his sister, Pear, leading to her tragic suicide. Although he's fully aware of his sister's past and personality, he aids Min in investigating Pear's past, hoping to uncover the person responsible for leaking Pear's embarrassing photos on her wedding day, all while keeping a secret from Min. In the meantime, following Min's breakup with her boyfriend, Shannon, he takes advantage of the situation to reignite their previous relationship, despite his mother's strong objections. Purim. Ratanarong Watana. As Shannon. Boyfriend of Min. Despite having been in a relationship with Min for some time, he senses that her repeated reluctance to engage in a more intimate relationship makes him to question her whether she truly loves him. During this phase, he finds solace in the company of Min's close friend, Wan Wan, who has long held admiration for him and ends up having a secret relationship with her. However, he maintains a deal with Wan Wan that their relationship is strictly casual with no commitment. Despite this, his relationship with Min eventually comes to an end upon her discovery of his affair with her good friend, Wan Wan. Having been working in his family's company, which is controlled by his grandmother all along, he is left in the lurch without her financial support after he walks out on her following her cold treatment towards Wan Wan in favor of his ex-girlfriend, Min. Despite Wan Wan's repeated advice for him to mend his ties with his grandmother and return to work in her company, he remains resolute in his desire for independence. Even though his relationship with Wan Wan encounters problems as she grapples with having a boyfriend who is dependent on her, he is determined to prove his worth to her by trying his best to establish himself on his own. Tanuchai. Wei Ji Vong Tong. As. Term. A police lieutenant. He is the investigating officer of the death of his cousin's sister, Nathamol, who is the wife of Saras's boyfriend, Captain Ki, and whose death was accidentally caused by Saras. Upon their unexpected encounter, he is immediately drawn to Saras, leading to a closer bond with her and eventually dating her. He is unaware that she is the main suspect in the case under his investigation and she is using their friendship to hinder his probe. His relationship with Saras is tested when he begins to be suspicious of her real identity and believes she is hiding something from him. Sivakorn. Lerchunchit. As. Kunfol. A photographer. He is Min's friend and a photographer for Pear's wedding. As Min begins to investigate the person behind the leak of Pear's embarrassing video, he becomes one of her suspects. To prove his innocence, he offers his assistance to Min in return. He is a homosexual and is dating Fu, the man who would have married Pear if their wedding had not been disrupted by the exposure of the damaging video of Pear. From Puriria. Thong Putaruk. As. Purinut. Praise would-be husband. He is gay and an aspirant politician, who becomes the choice of Pray's mother to marry Praise. He finds himself being coerced by Pray to marry her and to submit to her demands after she threatens to disclose intimate photos of him with his partner, Kunful. In fear that the exposure of these photos and his sexual orientation may harm his political career, he reluctantly consents to marry her because she is unwilling to go against her mother's wishes. Because of his affair with Kunpol and being forced to marry Pear, he too becomes one of Min's suspects for Pear's video leak. Natarat Maurice Legrand. As. Korowi. A conman. He is a conman who disguises himself as a client of the company where Mei is employed and is having an affair with Wan Wan's mother. Using his charisma, he lures Mei into a romantic encounter, exploiting her intimate photos to coerce her into betraying her close friend Wan Wan. He forces Mei to steal critical but damaging business information from Wan Wan with the purpose of using them to blackmail Wan Wan. Having run out of patience with Mei's refusal to comply with his demands, he decides to enforce his threats by raping her. As he continues to harass Mei, not fearing of being arrested due to his wide connections, he least expects that he will be confronted by the Blossom Squad instead. Suin Suda. Lawan Prasert as. Hanada. Mother of Pitch and Pear. She has been pressuring her daughter Pear to live up to her expectations all along and often compares Pear with her smarter brother, Pitch. She was not fond of Min, who had been Pear's best friend when she started dating her son, Pitch. She believed that Min was growing closer to both her son and daughter with the intention of taking advantage of them. Additionally, she considered Min a bad influence on her children. Her animosity toward Min intensifies after her daughter, Pear, tragically takes her own life, as she holds Min responsible for it. Consequently, she vehemently opposes her son, Pitch, when he announces to her that he is dating Min. Mahurin. Pompud Punth. As. Tarini. Stepmother of Wan Wan and Tanawin. Her inability to come to terms with the fact that her late husband had bequeathed all his wealth to her stepdaughter, Wan Wan, and stepson, Tanawin, strained her relationship with them. When Tanawin met with an accident that left him in a vegetative state, she assumes the responsibility of caring for him but has a hidden agenda that is eventually uncovered by Wan Wan. Simultaneously she is dating Korowi, a conman trying to obtain evidence of corrupt practices within Wan Wan's company, with the intention of using them to blackmail Wan Wan for money. Danai Jaraginda as Captain Key, a pilot and ex-boyfriend of Saras whose wife was unintentionally killed by Saras. Duongdo Jaraginda as Wikanda. She is Saras's grandmother, who hates her granddaughter due to her being the child of her son and her former servant, born out of wedlock. Gunchorn Na Ayutthaya as Shannon's grandmother. She dotes on Shannon's ex-girlfriend, Mean, but is not fond of his present girlfriend Wan Wan. Thanik Kamantaranan as Tanawin, Wan Wan's brother whose life is ruined after being introduced to Palana by his sister, Wan Wan. Chet Klinpratham as Adisorn, May's boss, Jirikit Kwariakul as Root, Sarasa's ex-boyfriend. Manirat Kam1 as Nathamal, Captain Key's wife who is unintentionally killed by Saras. Credit to Thai GMM TV. Thank you for watching.